Like one professor that I know so well, Professor Obayagon, he said, it is crystal clear, like biblical benemene teko fasting, that you all think we are TikTok and Twitter lawyers. Apparently we are, and we are back today to give you the TikTok and lawyer vibe. On legally speaking, to talk about the things that we have seen in the legal space, how you should face it when you're in that situation, whether you should knock somebody with blow, threaten somebody with a punch, which will lead to an assault, or whether you should rape somebody, even if they give you consent, you don't know. If she's underage and you sleep with her, it's a rape, statutory rape. But we have done all of that in previous episode. Today, we want to talk about something that be stirring waters in the media. Should the Sharia court be brought down or up to the southwest? Do we want it? Should we push back? Is it legal? Is it within the jurisdiction? What will happen? Will that mean that anytime you are sneaking around with stealing exam or stealing this or do that, somebody might cut your hand because you stole a pen in the class? What will it mean? What is the implication? Should we fear this or should we it's normal? Today, I'm in the studio with my co-host, Emmanuel Bamigbade, ESQ. He's a student of University of Ibadan. You can see him. He has been co-hosting sessions with LSS presidency candidates. And today we are here to talk about the legal speaking that you used to know, that we always host on this channel. B. Tracy.
Yeah.
That's his nickname. You are welcome.
Thank you very much. And it's good to be back to normal legally speaking after the special edition of
After the special edition. Yeah. Have you been hearing about this whole case about bringing Sharia court to Oyo State and Lagos or anywhere in the southwest? What is really happening? Because I don't know. I'm confused. I've just been hearing news up and down. What is really happening? What is the case?
The thing is, it has been almost unavoidable.
Okay.
Like everywhere you go, Twitter, Instagram, everywhere, it's always TikTok. It's always the case. They are discussing that, no, we don't want Sharia law. Everybody's releasing articles, epistles, and everything like that. What I've noticed though, because at first I was like, what's going on? Then I realized that it seems like people are bringing, RPGs, different kind of huge guns to a knife fight. It is not yet that serious.
Okay.
Let us calm down a little bit. It's not like they are bringing Sharia law. They are trying to implement Sharia law in Oyo State. The case is actually a matter of, they want to inaugurate a Sharia court in Oyo State.
In Oyo State.
Now, what does this imply?
That's where I'm going. What is the difference between bringing Sharia law to Oyo State and bringing a Sharia court to Oyo State?
The major difference is that when it is in demand, the Constitution allows for a Sharia system to be established in a state in Nigeria. So that would be a situation where our governor, for instance, deems it necessary that what we need, well, we need Sharia law, like the way in the state, in Oyo State, like the way it was implemented in all the other 12 states in Nigeria.
So there are standing 12 states. What you are saying, if I'm getting you, there are standing 12 states in Nigeria right now that are using Sharia law.
That embrace full Sharia.
Full Sharia law.
Yes.
States like Kano, Zamfara.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Good.
Yeah, I'm sure even if you just look at the 36 states and capital, you can figure out those states. Already, just
Sharia law.
This state, it's like you score 11 over 12 or 12 over 12 if you just carry out that test.
By your pure guesswork.
Exactly.
Now, 12 states are using Sharia law and they have Sharia courts.
Exactly.
In Oyo State, we use criminal code. Is that correct?
Yeah, we use criminal code.
So
in those other
we
states,
use high courts and court of appeal and secular court and this emergency court. So why do we need Sharia court here? Why?
In Oyo
Since
State,
we don't use Sharia law.
The reason why they want to inaugurate that court is for Muslims, because it is part of the Islamic religion. That should be the system.
Now, let me ask you this question because I'm not clear about that. Do we still have the English common law in the states in the north that are using Sharia law? Do they also have the...
Exactly.
Okay.
This is a very interesting legal question.
Exactly.
Given that people are trying to avoid that conversation, which is that we have penal code in these states.
Okay.
They have other laws state laws in these states that actually draw from the common law. The police have no choice than to implement those laws. That draw from even Sharia law. The police have no choice than to implement those laws. But now
in the north, right?
In the north, in those states, those states. Now, my problem now is that states, things that the penal code provides for. When someone is guilty of such a crime, the funny thing is that in practice, they take such matters to the Sharia court and then they resolve it there.
I'm getting confused about something.
Yeah.
We are talking about Sharia law. Is it different from the penal code? Is it different from the criminal code? Do we have criminal code, penal code, then Sharia law? Or is it that the penal code is also the Sharia law?
No, it's not. They are not the same. Actually.
Because many people don't know.
The Sharia law is a legal system. Sharia legal system is a legal system rooted in Islamic law, rooted in the Islamic religion.
So, what is now the penal code?
The penal code is the criminal book, like the laws against crime that describes crime, punishes crime in the northern states of Nigeria.
Okay,
that's what the penal code is. Every northern state in Nigeria has accepted that, has assented
those
to the penal code. Those 12 included.
Okay.
So now after that, those 12 now decide that we are taking it a step further. We want to implement Sharia law. Okay,
we want to add sugar to the gari that we already have from Ghana.
Exactly.
So we have the gari, which is the common law.
Exactly.
We have the granite, which is the penal code.
Exactly.
Now they now decided to add sugar so that they can make it a complete meal by adding the Sharia law system.
So the Sharia legal system is going to be part of their laws. Now the thing is that they are equivalent of police in this Sharia system. They are equivalent of different bodies, like it's just another law, like law of a particular land that we are bringing here. So now that is. Our laws are generally rooted in English common law.
Exactly.
I think that's what you are referencing.
That's what I said.
Which is our foundation. Our foundation.
For everybody.
So now they are saying that no, we want this Islamic law, this Sharia law, to be in effect because most of our people are Muslims, and our secular laws are not enough to cater for them. So we have to include the Islamic laws that specifies punishment to crimes as well.
So now I have this interesting question. What's already in the penal code, criminal code, that's not part of the the Sharia law, or that the Sharia law added to the mix. What is that sugar?
Let me give you an example. An example is blasphemy, for instance.
Okay.
Saying something against the prophet or the Quran or Allah, as the case may be. So now if you say rash sins against Allah, it is blasphemy.
Okay.
Blasphemy is not recognized under any Nigerian law as a crime.
In the penal code
does not recognize blasphemy as a crime.
Good. Criminal code doesn't.
Criminal code does not.
And other acts and laws doesn't.
They will not.
But in the Sharia law system,
it is a crime.
It is a crime. Good.
And it is punishable by stoning.
I'm learning something. And it's punishable by stoning.
Exactly.
Okay.
So now people. I will get there. So now when something like that happens, you cannot resolve that kind of issue in a should I say in a secular court?
Good.
So you go to the Sharia court and then they mete out the punishment
for you.
The leader of the Sharia court who is known as the Grand Qadi.
The Grand Qadi.
This is someone who is actually a trained Islamic scholar. Islamic legal scholar. So that's the case in this situation. So now they resolve that kind of issue there. It's not limited to that, but there are so many others. But that's just a good example. But now we have something like murder.
Okay.
Murder exists both in the Sharia law,
criminal code,
and in the penal code of that state, of whichever state we are picking.
Yeah.
Of those 12 states. So now, let's say Kano. This exists. How do we resolve this issue? The federal government is shying from this question. We are leaving it to the...
So, now, if there's a criminal, the criminal code specifies the punishment for murder.
Exactly.
Whether first degree, second degree, or third degree.
We know how we are going to deal with murder.
The penal code specifies in those 12 states. Now, does the Sharia law have a whole different provision for that too?
The thing is that it should be tried in a secular court.
Okay.
Because these things exist. But since there are no clear legislation saying that this should not be there, this should be there. Everything we can do is that we can just bring up like the constitution is supreme. Every law is the null and void whenever it is against what the and stuff like that. Those are these like stuffs we can just bring up. And you know, those are like citations, and they are not direct statements. They are not direct laws banning that.
They are not direct pronouncement of the law.
So now, are we supposed to? These are things that should be reviewed by the federal government or the government of the day. But every government has been silent about it.
Okay.
They've not done anything
to spell it out.
So it continues that people are being tried for such crimes in Sharia courts as well as the case may be. So it's not necessarily limited to secular courts, despite the fact that the secular courts provide a punishment to this crime, and at the same time, the Sharia law provides. Sharia legal system provides a punishment to these crimes. And
I think another thing we need to quickly highlight is that I remember that the military, you know, I was on a date last weekend. If you have not seen that episode, you know, I was on a date, couples or not, you can check out that series that I'm making with girls lately because I'm looking for a wife. So, and, you know, I learned something from her because she's very close. She has close ties with, you know, with that part of the country. I think they call themselves whatever and their own. I will not go into the details because I don't think she likes sharing. So essentially, I know that they have their own courts, you know, their own court martials and all of this. So is it the same to like, is it on the same level with like Sharia court?
I will give you the difference. So now it is just like, we had the LSS stuff here. Do you know that in the Law Student Society, we have the judicial arm where we actually have courts?
Oh,
and we go through court proceedings and everything.
And you sue each other.
And people sue each other.
Wow.
And an administrative court, of course. And that is it. So just like there are administrative courts, like that LSS judicial court, there are military courts where they punish people that go against their stuffs. But don't forget that despite the fact that these are real courts and that their decisions are binding, it's the same way with Sharia courts too. At the same time that their decisions are binding.
So can the military court trial you for murder and
if you are a military person, they can.
Okay.
They can try you.
So the same power that Sharia law system has.
The difference there is the same thing. It's almost the same thing. The difference is just that the Constitution specifically this is where the difference. The Constitution specifically creates the Sharia courts.
Okay.
When it was creating High Court, Court of Appeal, and the Supreme Court. Okay. Like in the same breath.
In the same breath.
That was when these courts were created.
Okay.
So like they are treated almost on the same level with these courts.
With the secular court.
With the secular courts. Unlike the fact that we are saying about the administrative court I mentioned, the military courts and stuff, they can get to the high courts and it will override their decisions and stuff. Of course, in the case of also in the case of Sharia courts as well, it's not that
clear.
As like they are not on the same. The Sharia court is not on the same level with all those kind of courts that I mentioned.
Okay.
All those kind of courts that I mentioned because they were specifically created alongside all these other courts that I mentioned.
So, are you saying that the state high court can override the Sharia court?
They can. The state high court can. Okay. The appeal court, appellate courts can definitely override the decision of and that has happened severally. Okay. And let me give you an interesting stat because we used to say blah blah blah. It might not matter, but I will just tell you this stat. The fact that since 1999 to date, only one death sentence has been carried out that was pronounced by the Sharia courts.
Okay.
So they don't end up usually getting carried out because they would end up going to the secular courts many times. So many cases have been decided, people have been sentenced to death by hanging, but they are actually retried by secular courts and reverted in real life. So the way it works in theory is technically
so now we have given them all the backgrounds the people the audience needs to understand. By now you already have all the background, the ideas of so there are administrative courts here and there. You know, this people in their law school at University of Ibadan also are having their own courts,
We have our courts, yeah.
and then you can finally sue, you can take it to a magistrate court that is near you or everything. But apparently, everybody can have courts. Now, we have the Sharia court that is created in the same breath with all these other courts. And then there's only one death sentence that happened so far.
Exactly.
Since 1999. Good. So now, what is this case at hand? The case of bringing it to Oyo State.
Oyo State.
What does it mean? What is the implication? That's what I want to know.
The only implication as it stands is the fact that people in Oyo State that are Muslims can choose to take their matters there. It is not enforced on anybody. People can just keep.
So what you are saying is that it doesn't mean that Oyo State will start operating
under Sharia law. It is not legally binding. They are not. Oyo State is not. The police of Oyo State are not going to enforce anything. Everything is just going to be as it is.
Because I noticed that I've been to a Sharia court in Kwara State.
Okay,
I remember it's around that governor residential area or something like that. That side in. I was there and somebody just gave me the OT that I want to do change of name. For some of you that you are is your name Elon Jobs? Yeah, actually, my name is Olajide Timleye Abiodun Ojo Adekunle and etc. So, but I wanted to have a more modern name. So I was like, okay, how do I go about it? So I talked to a lawyer and he said, oh, I can go to court, file for a change of name, I find a court that will sign my affidavit, etc. And I was okay, how do I go about it? He said, I should look for a court. So as I was looking for a court, he said, most courts are always busy. So, but his advice for me is that there's a Sharia court that has the same rights as almost any other court. If I go there, they will sign my document as fast as possible. Exactly. The judge will sign my document as fast as possible.
Because there are no people.
The place is so dry. No session is going on, nothing. No court case, nothing. The only thing they were doing primarily is just change of name. People that are changing name from Fatai Adesina to Kemi Adeosun. They are changing names and
after marriage and stuff.
After marriage. That's majorly what I see that they are doing there. So is that what you are saying is going to be the case here?
Exactly.
There are not going to be so much.
No, there won't be.
And I think Islamic marriages also, we have the room to take their marriage to such courts for such discussions, about divorces, alimony, and all those things that. But
those are Muslims.
Yeah.
And that's just.
So for a non-Muslim like myself, an atheist like myself, what you are saying is that I don't have any reason to worry about, a Sharia court in Oyo State.
That's where I would like to cut back a little bit. Because my opinion is that that's the case and everything. But then I realize why people are pushing back.
Okay.
There is an important reason why people are pushing back.
Why? Tell us why.
That's why even someone like me, I am pushing back.
Why are people pushing back on bringing Sharia court to your state? Tell us.
The reason why people are pushing back is this. When you give people an inch, humans, we don't usually take an inch. We take a mile. We take something more. Okay. We take a foot, as the case may be. So now, in this situation now, if you say, oh, it's fine, we don't need to push back, this is what it is. And then people start feeling like, people in Oyo State are pro-Sharia, they are taking their matters to Sharia court. Why not implement Sharia law, the Sharia legal system in Oyo State, just like in those other 12 states? It will become a matter of discussion. Now, it's not a matter of discussion at all.
They already have the infrastructure in place.
It's not a matter of discussion at all as things stand now because we've not gotten there.
But the Sharia court have been in Kwara State for quite a while and we did not end up implementing any Sharia law.
It's not necessary that it's going to be the case. I'm just saying that these people are trying to be on the safe side.
Do you think that's the case? Or because most people have not watched these episodes of Legally Speaking and they don't understand what the discussion is all about. They are afraid that
90% of people don't know. They think that what is happening is that they are bringing Sharia law into Oyo State.
Because
but people that know better, that are actually pushing back, are doing this because they know that it will one day become a matter of discussion and everything like that, and they might lose. You might end up having a governor that might be pro-Sharia, and then it will become like we have the infrastructure already. What are you saying? People are in support of these things, and
that's an interesting perspective. So there are two camps that you have highlighted: the people that don't know what is going on. This is not about bringing Sharia law to Oyo State or to Lagos or anywhere in the southwest.
Exactly.
I think it's more about bringing the Sharia court for those that we have a need for it. Those that are married others, the Muslim, Islamic, religion, and they want to settle and they don't want to go to secular court so that they don't have secular pronouncement over their religious marriage, right? They want to follow the the Sharia law. They want to go through the Islamic provisions.
Exactly.
So that's what is going on here. And for the people that are well educated are still pushing back, I think what Beatrice is suggesting that most people are pushing back because they know that once you give people an inch, they are going to take a mile. In fact, they will take a kilometer at one point. So essentially, I think that's settled out the scoff in this subject matter. Because what I've seen is that Sharia law can only work in a society or in a setting where there is a majority Muslim.
I don't even think it's working enough in those societies. I think it has to work in a society where they are all Muslims. It's not very realistic that it will work, because if you say, okay, if you work in a place where they are predominantly Muslims, people are traveling in interstates who are of different faiths. And then when they get to those states, they can't even carry themselves as expected. Things they can get at a beck and call, they can't get it. Alcohol, for instance.
So what you are now saying is that if I wake up one day and I'm in an Islamic Sharia, under a Sharia setting, so Oyo State, the British Sharia law to Oyo State, and I say something like, do you know that Muhammad is a pedophile? He was sleeping with a 9 years old. Am I protected in that way?
You are protected because you have first a right to be tried under the Sharia law or not. Which is the first process. And then if you choose to be, because maybe where
did I end the right to be tried or not to be tried under the Sharia?
No, like there's the Constitution protects your right to fair hearing. One, which is in section 36 of the Constitution.
Okay.
Section 38 of the Constitution also gives you right to freedom to thoughts and association religion. So now if you are sure that you are not a Muslim, you know your religion, you are going to be, since this Sharia is for Muslims. If you are not a Muslim, you are going to be exempted. You don't necessarily have to be taken to.
I think there's a right to be tried under a competent court.
Exactly. Under a competent court. Exactly.
That's section 42, if I'm correct. So essentially, what I need to just do is to recognize that the Sharia law, the Sharia court is not a competent court to try.
Exactly. It is, and you are going to be fine. Given that you, for instance, you said you are not a Muslim and stuff, you make it clear that you're not a Muslim, you don't want to be tried under that court. You're going to be tried in the secular court.
And I don't think any secular court.
And that's not a crime. And that's not even a crime in any secular court.
Interesting.
What you said. So Muhammad doesn't have a legal interest to come.
And I don't think it's falls under defamation, because that's what we talked about last week.
That's why I wanted to reference.
You can check the previous episode. You can click here to watch the episode where we talk about defamation.
And if you remember in that episode, we made it clear that somebody that is dead, because in this case Muhammad is dead,
his family member,
their family member can prosecute, can follow you with this matter. But the problem now is that he does not have family members with legal interest in this place.
Let's now say all the clerics, all the chief imams, and they have legal interest. Can they even pursue me?
They are not related to him. They are not, and that person is not even under this jurisdiction.
So you need to watch that episode about defamation if you want to know what we are talking about defamation. And I don't think it's a defamation because it's a truth claim.
For it to not be a defamation, it has to be proven that it is false. And to prove that is false is, well,
it's everywhere.
It's up to debate. It's up to debate. But
so, ladies and gentlemen, that's it on this episode on Legally Speaking. I am speaking legally from here at our studio, at KidCast Studio. And my producer is looking at me and saying, your time is up. So, if you want to see more of us, like, share, comment. Let us know your opinion about bringing Sharia courts to Oyo State or any other western parts of the country. And we would like to see you in the next episode where we talk about another interesting topic like this, where we break down the law for common men like you and I. And thank you for calling us TikTok and Twitter lawyers. I think that's our title from now on. Are you the one to take TikTok?
I will take Twitter lawyer.
Oh, Twitter. I will take TikTok lawyer, and I will see you in the next episode. Thank you.